then Ronaldo! Balotelli, Aguero! It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent. Here's Messi. Away from 2, 3, 4. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
The Football Drop Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Football Drop Podcast. We've got video. So far, so good.
Well, let's see how long it lasts. We did
Smashing
nearly
it.
not have audio this week, though, did we?
Yeah, I may have just broken the cable that went to my microphone. Which, yeah. I mean, I don't think anything surprises you now, does it?
No. It just winds me up. Doesn't surprise me. I just think, oh, here we go again.
Yeah. I can imagine. You get wealth of stuff.
Jarring, I may say.
How are you? You
Sometimes
right?
off. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah. Not bad. Just put tea on my keyboard, so, you know. Things going well today. Things going well.
Nice. That's a nice new shirt on the wall there, Will.
Yeah. Thank
What's
you.
that one? Is that Athletic Mineiro, is it?
That's right. Yeah, from the Brazilian league. Yeah.
Why do you wear it this week?
I wanted to wear the Fiorentina one. Went nice to wear my hat.
Oh, is that the only reason?
The only reason I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the
Yeah.
real reason that you told me minutes before we started recording?
I'm too fat.
How tight are we talking?
Oh, like. Yeah, like the letter B. In capitals.
Nice.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
of those
capital
that probably
B.
turned this podcast from sort of like okay and acceptable to has to be only the video's only shown after 10 p.m.
Oh God, yeah. If it got wet, blimey.
Win a few contests.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get some money out of it.
I definitely would. It'd be your feet and my tits on Only Feet or whatever it was, and Only Fans and stuff. We'd get loads of money.
I forgot about that. I need to set that up. How's your
How's it
week
going?
going, mate?
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing to you. Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Had a bit of a quiet one. I got to see an absolute legend of the game on Friday evening.
What game?
The eating game.
Yeah. Yeah, man. How
Yeah.
was that?
My guy. Yeah, it was nice, mate. We went up to the pub, didn't we?
Yeah, man. You need to leave a review as well. I've been
Oh, I
harassed
do.
by certain people.
Yeah, no, I do. You're right. I will do that. Text me later and remind me, and I'll get it done.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. But that was good though. So if you're around the Her Bay area, drop into the Ship Inn on the seafront. Beautiful views. Mate, it was
Yeah.
a real nice evening as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, it was nice. What I found a little odd was when I went to the toilet and I came back and you'd gone.
Well, I thought you'd left
No,
because I was paying. I thought you said, "Oh, I thought you was like, oh, to go outside."
no.
And
Not
yeah,
at
then
all.
you sort of disappeared, and I was like, "Where's he gone?" So I kind of looked around the restaurant. I thought, "Oh, sorry, I was waiting for him." So I sort of went out of the car. Thought maybe he's there. You weren't there.
No, I was having a wee and came back and you'd gone. What happened? Why did you go?
My social time has run out at that point. I
Yeah.
haven't got enough of the old social battery anymore.
I have to call you Cinderella.
Cinderella, yeah. Yeah, I wear glass slippers all the time.
Yeah, but...
In charge.
God, I just got a notification on mine that we're meant to be doing this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How
Uh,
was the rest of the weekend, though? You had a little bit of father-son time with Jack and Ryan?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, we had no Selch this weekend, so yeah, we had a little bit of father-son time. Played lots of football, lots of TV. Gladiator, man, he loves the Gladiators.
Really?
It's like I can imagine that's what I was like as a kid with the Gladiators, like coming on and stuff. It's sick though. Isn't it?
Really?
Gladiators is, huh?
What do you mean? He was like that as a kid when Gladiators was on.
Yeah, like you know when Gladiators was on back in the day.
Yeah, but you weren't a kid then.
Yeah, I was. The 90s.
Mate, 22 is not a kid.
Yeah, good lad.
Come on. 22 is not a kid. I was going to say something. Oh, mate, so funny that you say the name Selge. I definitely forgot Selena's name yesterday.
Oh, mate, she's going to listen to this as well. She's going to be horrified.
Yeah.
Why? How did you forget her name?
She's just called Selge to me. I didn't remember her actual name.
Oh, I see.
So we were talking about barbecues, and I was like, yeah, we need to do a couple this year as well, and some big ones again. So I was like, sort of going through like everyone's goes. Like, obviously, Will and Selge will come. And Laura went, oh, okay, yeah, no, Selge is always, she'll be good. I wonder if they'll drink this time, if they both drink and one drives. And I was like, Selge's actual name? And Laura looked at me as though I was an absolute thick shit. I was like, it's obviously Selena. I was like, yeah, obviously. But she's saved in my phone as Selge. There's no Selena. So every time I see it, even you say Selge all the time. So yeah, I genuinely forgot your fiance's name, so sorry.
No, that's all right. No, I'm sure she'll message you once she listens to this.
Yeah, it'd be proof to see whether she does, wouldn't it? It's like a test every week.
Well, yeah. I mean, she said that she listened to our last episode on Friday, so she's not like an avid listener. It's not like the first thing, but give her her credit where it's due. She does listen, so that's good.
I don't think Laura's even rated us yet. It's disgusting.
Oh, that's terrible. And you're meant to be marrying this woman.
Empty, yeah. That's why I keep putting it off. I was like, look, you're not proving yourself here yet. You've got to do some more tests first. Oh, your camera's gone, mate.
Oh, my camera's gone?
Yeah, your camera's gone.
Damn it. Is it back?
This is good technical. Yeah, oh, yeah, there you go. Look, you're back.
I apologise, sorry. I thought I could do two things at once. I was trying to get the chat up, so we've got our list of things, but it turned my camera off.
Yeah, that's not good.
Okay.
Well, the first thing on the list is your rugby versus football.
Well, so you're going to need to take the lead on this now, mate, because I've got all cameras, everything on, and I can't see the list now. I feel like I just need to sit here and be quiet and not touch anything, otherwise it will go wrong. So, you're in control, buddy.
Yeah, let's go back to the rugby v football thing. I think we will go into a little bit more detail on that. There's a couple of sort of bigger sort of news stories over the weekend. The first point, I think, is the Leicester's points deduction.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming, did you?
Yeah, I've been saying about it for ages.
Who's they? Tell me who they are.
Like all the news outlets.
No, I need you to be more. No, I need you to be more specific.
Okay, so Sky Sports have been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks. BBC News have also been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks that they could be penalised for it. Not that they will, so they could be penalised for it because of their previous time in the Premier League.
Like this, literally, when it happened, was the first time I'd heard about it.
Have you been living under a rock?
So close to saying something I shouldn't say. No,
Yeah,
I haven't. No.
Grow up, Will. Grow up. Yes, it's been widely reported that they're under investigation anyway because of this, and they would be penalised. But there wasn't any thoughts that they will because they're not in the Prem at the moment. But the moment if they get promoted this season, then they'll get an automatic points deduction for that season.
Yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it? What is it, 4 points as well?
Well, depends what they make up.
Oh, no, sorry, it was Forest, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry, no, they haven't given
Forest
them
had
points.
4, Everton have had 6.
Well, they had 10 and 6.
Yeah, so maybe they'll go in the middle and go 5 for Leicester.
Oh, you prefer that when you don't like all these even numbers?
No, it freaks me out.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a surprise for me that they're doing that. But what's ironic is that they've got the champions of the Premier League who are facing 150,000 charges who still haven't been charged with anything. Yet the team that's not even in the league, they've gone, we'll have you.
Yeah.
We'll have you. Chelsea, no. We'll turn a blind eye to that. No. City, what? I didn't know. Yeah, I just thought it was Pep. No, it was Pep. Yeah, we love Pep. Leicester, no, there's points to deduct them when they come back up,
Yeah, it's it just seems a bit of a joke, to say the least.
Yeah,
The Man
it is
City stuff,
farcical.
apparently the new date is, I think it's April, May 2025 that they think it will be done.
Really? Oh, really? That long? I thought it was going to be sooner than that.
No, 2025 towards the end of it.
Wowzers. That's crazy, isn't
Which
it?
is an absolute piss take.
Yeah,
Absolute
it is.
piss take.
But yeah, I do feel sorry for Leicester. So if they come back up into the Premier League, well, I say when they come back up into the Premier League next season, they'll start the season with a 4 to 6 point deduction. It just feels hard. I understand it. It just feels harsh, though, doesn't it? But the rules are there. You have to abide by them. Unless obviously
rules are rules.
Unless obviously you're £1 billion team from maybe Russia, maybe America, maybe Saudi, doesn't matter, or the UAE, whatever.
Yeah, I think we'll move on before we get ourselves taken.
Oh, it is. You have to admit, it is annoying.
I know it's ridiculous.
It
generally does appear like it's one rule for one rule for another.
Yeah, it does.
It seems to be that way for a long time as well now.
Yeah.
C'est la vie, Brucey. There was a bit of a funny thing coming out over the last couple of days or so. Mike Ashley is suing Newcastle.
Yeah, that's right. It's for the sponsors, for the sales of the Newcastle shirts. So they've ditched. They go to Castoro, wasn't it? They've ditched them and they've gone for Adidas.
Yeah.
And then got an exclusive deal with Adidas and JD Sports to sell the jerseys. And Mike Ashley's like, after everything I did for you, you're not even going to let me sell your shirts.
Yeah. So he's claiming like competition laws and all this crap.
Yeah.
I'm like, you screwed them over for so many years.
But what's funny is, didn't he have a similar clause for the Newcastle
Sports Direct? Yeah.
Shirts with Sports Direct? Yeah.
Yep. Exactly that, mate. They couldn't sell it anywhere but Sports Direct.
Yeah. Ironic, isn't it?
Honestly, the bloke is a complete. Just ridiculous.
Wow. Did I just see some control from you?
Yeah, slight control. It's because I couldn't be arsed editing it and bleeping it out, mate, to be honest with you. So I thought, let's just be grown up about it. But I think I don't see anything wrong with that sort of deal, though. It's not as though it's you can't get it anywhere. JD Sports is a huge retailer. You can still get it from JD Sports website. You can still get it from the Newcastle store online and at the ground.
Yeah.
If you're a Newcastle fan, you're probably if you're going to buy a shirt, you're going to buy it from their store online or in person anyway. Realistically, aren't you?
I don't know. You buy
Where do you buy your Arsenal shirts from?
Wherever they're cheaper, really. I don't
You've
necessarily.
got two options.
What are my options?
You've got JD Sports or the actual Arsenal store, or actually Arsenal physically at the ground.
Yeah, I think Arsenal offer an NHS discount, so I'll probably just go there.
You buy it from there. I appreciate the cheaper side of things, but Sports Direct don't do it any cheaper than anywhere else.
No, but you might get a good deal on it.
But they also charge you $4.95 for delivery as well, which is nice of them.
That is true. What was we saying? Yeah, so Truro City have got 23 games to play in...
No, they've got 13.
Sorry, 13 games in 23 days. Yeah, sorry.
No,
yeah.
in 28 days. It's nearly
28 days. Well, I can't see it, can I? I've told you this. You know this. I can't bloody see it.
Right, guys. So just for the record, Truro City are facing a relegation battle at the moment because they've had lots of games called off. They've got 13 games to play in 28 days.
That's correct. Yeah, thanks Ben for that. Thank you. Much appreciated. It's crazy. How do you do that? How do you get through that amount? I think it's like a Saturday, a Tuesday, a Friday, a Saturday. They got so many games to play.
I think any Premier League team would be fuming at that, even with the size of the squads that they've got. Let alone a team that's not going to have a squad anywhere near the size of those sort of elite teams. So it does seem very, very harsh.
Yeah, it's a bit unsporting, isn't it?
But I think we need to follow this each week. I think, and see how they're getting on, because this is quite an exciting one and quite a unique situation to be in.
Yeah. So I've got my stat for you if you're ready for it.
We can do. I mean, we're not really at that point yet, but yeah, sure. We can crack on.
Oh, sorry. What was the other thing then?
You wanted to talk about England, Brazil. You wanted to talk about Ben White because we deliberately avoided that last week.
Oh no, that's all later. That's all for later. That's when we come to review the games.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're done then, mate. Yeah, crack on.
Oh, so I can move on to my stat.
What's Will's stat of the week?
So you can fact check this. If anything, I encourage you to do that. So Will Grigg was once voted the 25th best player in Europe.
Will Grigg's on fire. Your defence is terrified.
Yeah. So he was voted as number 25, along with Hugo Lloris and Paul Pogba, Diego Godin, and he was above Aubameyang, De Bruyne.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that
what
was the
year.
year.
Was this?
That was the year that Gareth Bale was at Real Madrid and he won. So 2015-2016 season, you have Buffon and Griezmann just below him in second and third respectively. So, yeah, 25th best player in Europe, Will Grigg of Wigan. That's mental, isn't it?
To be fair, he was good, wasn't he, for that season?
Yeah.
That's how the infamous song came about, wasn't it, and stuff. But
what, Will Grigg
I
is on fire?
he was... I suppose you judge Aubameyang and De Bruyne and what they're doing recently.
15-16, yeah, it's a bit different then, wasn't it?
I think De Bruyne was probably at Wolfsburg still then.
Might be. You'll need to check it because I'm not touching the computer.
No, don't blame me. Yeah, don't blame me at all. Now. Mate, that's a mental stat. He's the same level as Lloris.
Yeah.
And Pogba.
Yeah. Absolutely insane.
I love that. Well done, mate. That was a great stat.
Oh, thanks.
Fantastic stat.
Okay, so should we move on to the rugby football stuff? Because I've got a question for you.
Yeah, go on. What was this all about?
And I feel like this is going to be. You are a good person to answer this because you're a rugby man and a football man, whereas for me, I don't really have a lot of interest in rugby. I just can't get into it. It's a bit like American football for me. It's all sort of one. It's a bit boring. I don't really understand the rules. For me, you've just got lots of men jumping on each other, and I'll be honest, there's a lot of dick in face.
Right, okay. There's not, but okay, sure.
But what I want to know is why is it that whenever people talk about rugby, like they can't just say, "I'm going to go to the rugby." That just can't happen. People cannot just say that. When people talk about going to the rugby, yeah, I'm going to see a proper sport. Yeah, you can have beers in the stadium. You know, it's you get the away supporters in with the home supporters. Yeah, I'm going to see a proper sport played by proper men. And I don't know. I just even for people who are in football say, yeah, I'm going to go see a proper sport at the weekend. I'll go watch the rugby, innit? Yeah. I don't understand it, mate. I want you to help me understand it.
To be honest, I generally don't know a single person who speaks like that about rugby.
You've never heard that?
I think I've heard the proper sports stuff. I've never heard people go, yeah, you have beers in the stadium, yeah, we're away fan. I've never heard anyone say it quite like that. Okay. To be perfectly honest.
Right, but I see. I see where you're digging at now. Thank you.
Yes, I do. I've heard that a lot. And I'll be honest, it's very simple. Players respect the referees and respect the game.
Right.
It is simple as that. Footballers don't stretch the limits too far. There's no respect in the game really. Whereas rugby has always been very strict, very to the rules. It's very debatable. It's not violent sport, but it's an aggressive sport. Mm-hmm. But you respect the opposition at the same time. I mean, you may hate their guts, don't get me wrong, but there's still that respect there because the ref controls the game and what the ref says goes. If you argue with the ref, call him a CUNT or whatever, you're off. Simple as that. You're done.
Right.
And there's no leniency at all. It's very black and white with rugby as well.
Okay.
You have obviously you have all the technical challenges like the VAR and stuff like that you have in rugby, but I think I don't know whether there's like less rules perhaps or something, or less speculative stuff and things that you can just kind of take into consideration, and or maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and it's all subjective. I'm not sure, but it seems to be sport of it is what it is. You don't argue with it. I think it's always been like that, but maybe because its origins were played by a higher class initially with like the Eton boys and stuff like that, and it's kind of still in those roots perhaps.
Well, that's how football started, wasn't it? That was for posh boys, and quickly became, more of a commoner's game. I just don't.
Yeah, it's been diluted.
So I understand that, and I think that's a great thing about rugby is the respect for the referee. What I don't understand is that boasting of just putting football down. It's almost like it's got to be a competition. Like rugby's a better game.
And I think the competition is because rugby's not a bigger game.
Yeah. Okay.
I genuinely think that's. I mean, in terms of the actual, what's the word? The prestige of the game, and the following and the fan base, etc. It's not as big as football. No, absolutely not. Football is played by every single country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Every single recognised country, and then some more. Whereas rugby isn't. It's the access to rugby, the physicality side of things is a little bit more difficult. You need to have a bit more of a presence and skill set. Whereas football, at any level, pretty much anyone can go and kick a football and have access to a football and be able to play that. Whereas rugby, you need more people to play.
Mm-hmm.
Football, you can be. Well, goalies are a little bit of an exception, but if you want to be a striker, you can go and buy a goal and buy a football for like 20 quid and practice your shots and things like that. You can just go to the park and do that. Whereas rugby's very physical. You need someone else there. You can practice your kicking and stuff, but that's pretty much it.
So we're both in agreement that football's a better sport, and these people are talking nonsense and just need to get behind football a bit more and stop making it a competition.
No, it's not a better sport. It's different.
So you don't think that rugby is a better sport? You don't think that football's a better sport than rugby?
No.
What?
Oh, simple as that. No, it's not. I know this is a football podcast, and don't get me wrong, I love football, but I love watching rugby as well. I'm not into rugby as much as I am football. I follow football more religiously than I do rugby. But whenever the rugby's on for England, I'll try and watch every game I can. But obviously, I played rugby as a youngster. I loved it and enjoyed it. And I think it's because it's probably a good point I've actually just stumbled into there, is I played rugby when I was younger. So when I watched rugby, I kind of see some of the moves and understand it a little bit more in the tactics. Whereas you played football as a youngster, so you understand that tactical side and the positioning more. Whereas football, I generally just watch it as a fan.
Yeah.
So you've got a little bit more of an inside kind of scoop and understanding of it than what I do.
I just didn't fancy being attacked by the big boys.
I didn't. I got dragged into it, and then I was like, oh, actually, this is quite fun.
Yeah, I bet you did. So why won't you let me have a rough and tumble with you?
Because you tried to do it in your pants, and I said no. Or actually, you went, Commando! I knew there would be a moment for that to come up.
I think we both saw that coming at exactly the same time. And I was like, shit, I've literally pitched that to you as well, and that was perfect. You have to explain that now, aren't you? No, you are. No. I haven't got the notes up in front of me, so you're going to have to do it.
You know, I don't even remember how it came up. But we were talking about something, and you just did this stupid American accent, all excited, and just went, Commando! And I don't understand why. I can't even remember why it came up, and it was just the funniest thing. I was like, why did you say it like that? He's like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I don't know. I've never said Commando like that before.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well done.
Joe, I'm really gutted I forgot when it came out, but then you mentioned it on Friday, or it came up on Friday. So I set a reminder for this morning, and it came up about 10 minutes before we started recording.
Yeah, I'm slightly annoyed about that as well.
Very excited. Very, very glad I set these. This is why I do it, to stay organised, so I know what to talk about.
Yeah. Well done. I'm very pleased about that.
So what's your take on the whole rugby football then? I've been sort of watching quite a lot here.
Well, I think you've got more of a balanced opinion because, like I say, I don't understand it. I think that it's one of those where what's the point in being so competitive about one sport over another? I think football is better, obviously, as I've made my point clear. But I just don't understand why somebody would need to talk like that, like just completely disregard one thing and sit in the stands and take a picture. Or Twickenham's a proper stadium. Yeah, I'm allowed a beer. Like, I'm sat next to an away fan. And like, you don't get this at football. Like, bro, I just don't understand. I don't understand it.
But do you not? You get that from the football side. Talk about rugby.
I honestly don't ever hear anybody talking about rugby in a negative way. I've never ever seen, and this is just for me personally, and it's just might be because I'm not paying attention, that somebody goes to a football stadium and goes, this is much better than the rugby, isn't it? It's like, what? Why are you bringing rugby up? Like, I just don't understand. For me, there's never been that. This is a pop sport, isn't it? Not like rugby. I'm like, what? Why is it about rugby?
No,
that would never happen. And you'd never be sat, this is much better than Twickenham here, isn't it? You'd be like, and you'd be sat in the Emirates like, well, yeah, but it's like a Viva, but it's not like at Twickenham. So I just don't.
That was really well laid. Well done.
Thank you. I just don't know if you'd ever have that. You sometimes sort of, when you see like the players mouthing off at the ref, you sometimes go, you don't really get that in rugby. We need to be a bit more like that. That I get, and I'm like, yeah, I 100% agree with that. But the comparison of rugby and football just doesn't happen.
No. I mean, to be fair, I can't really recall a time hearing it. I just thought if there's sometime there will be a group of fans somewhere that will be like that as well. Because they'll be like, absolutely, ultra football's life, blah 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 blah. You know, that's the only thing in the world, the only sport in the world that matters. But I think like rugby as a sport is kind of like football's younger brother. It's that sort of inferior sport that wants to be like their big brother and be bigger and more world renowned. But it's big enough on its own, and the fans did the same.
Don't they call it RFC though?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is all, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. It confuses me. But you don't hear it in any other sport really. You don't ever sort of go to the cricket and go, God, I love being here at the Oval. It's much better than Twickenham, because everyone would go, what? It's different. Like, it's a different sport. It's a different stadium, different fans. Why are you comparing the Oval to Twickenham?
No, you are right. It's a really interesting point. You are right. I think it's
not often we agree.
I think I kind of stick to it. Of it's just a case of there's certain elements of rugby that football can learn from. And equally, there's certain things about football that rugby can learn from in terms of the more commercialised side of things, which I think rugby's getting there. There's more and more attention to it with the sort of the European competitions and things like that, you know, Heineken Cup and stuff, which seems to be growing more and more every year. But they've got salary caps, they've got wage caps and things like that. They've got certain competitions where if you're playing abroad, then you can't be selected for England. So they've got certain restrictions in there, which I think kind of increases that talent pool for English or like for national players, depending on wherever you are. I know France do the same if they're playing overseas; they're not eligible to play for France. So it's a real sort of career decision if you want to move abroad into these different teams and experience something different.
Interesting.
I think there's certain things that football can learn from, but I think football is just, it's so far down that line now to make any kind of like rash or bold decisions with big changes will take years and years to be able to actually implement. It'll probably take 15 years for something to be able to actually see the full repercussions of that. Like salary caps as a prime example. how the hell would you introduce that into the Premier League now? Is God knows how you can do that now.
Well, you just have to set it
Over a
ridiculously
5-year
high.
period.
You just have to set it ridiculously high, wouldn't you? It would be so then it once like it starts to catch up with itself in terms of inflation and stuff. That's when the salary cap will come in. So there will be ways of doing it, and I think it is probably needed. If you look at the MLS is very similar, isn't it? And that works. That does work. I know the MLS isn't.
But they've got their own franchise players and things, haven't they? Where every team pays for Lionel Messi to play against them. Why?
Yeah. Because they want to attract the biggest and best players, don't they?
Yeah, but they're not, because they're all at Inter Miami.
Yeah.
All of these star players are all at one club. They're not scattered about anywhere.
Did you, just talking about that, did you see Luis Suarez and Leo Messi teaming up? I can't remember who they were playing now, but it was obviously Inter Miami. They tore.
Really?
I think they won 5-0 into Miami. I can't remember who it was now, but they absolutely ruined them.
They should do. I know they're getting on, but they still should do.
Yeah. They'll win it. They'll win everything, won't they? Bless them. Love their hearts.
Insane. But that's a good talking point there. Well done, mate.
Thank you, Matt. I thought international break. So let's think of something to fill the time. Because we'll probably have a shorter one today. So just moving into the international break, did you see that San Marino ended their winless run?
They did it in the end. No, I missed it.
Yeah, so they had to play St Kitts twice. They lost 3-1. So they thought that they were going to win. They lost 3-1, and then they drew 0-0. So they have ended their. Sorry, did I say winless?
Yeah, so they haven't ended their winless run.
No,
because they didn't win.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to say winless. I meant to say they didn't lose because they drew.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, what a shit point that was.
This is why we don't do the Euro roundup anymore.
You're just fucking unreliable. You write notes and then you can't even fucking get them up on screen to read. And then anything you try to remember, you don't remember anyway.
Well, I think it's my brain and my mouth work at different speeds.
Did just for clarification, did Inter Miami actually win, or did Messi play? Is he injured? Is Suarez even there yet?
To be honest, I could have just been watching an old clip of Barcelona.
Probably. Like, why do they wear a different kit?
yeah. Why does it
Looks like
Barcelona?
Will Grigg. No, talking about the internationals generally, obviously the Ben White situation before we go to the England-Brazil game. So we did talk about it last week, and there was an actual reason for that. Was not just because we forgot, which we kind of did a little bit.
That is the only reason why I didn't talk about it.
But no, I wanted to bring it up, but there's so much sort of speculation, and I know that there's everywhere is going to be start reporting on it more and more to actually find out the real reasons behind it.
Right.
Obviously, it's well documented that him and the assistant coach, is Steve Holland, isn't it? Had a bit of a fallout during the World Cup. Basically said that Ben White's not training hard enough. He didn't know the answer to a question. He's like, yeah, because you don't actually watch any football, because you're not interested in it. And Ben White was like, well, I don't need to. But obviously kind of took that to heart, which I understand. Your coaches shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
Especially for international duty. You shouldn't be doing that at all. But I think it's a lot of that is Ben White wasn't settled either. And his whole point, and Ben Foster's come out and sort of defended him quite emphatically, because Foster obviously was left out after Capello basically lied to him. He was like, no, look, you can be playing, you can, I want you on the pitch for 45 minutes. Ben Foster didn't even get the game, and he raced back just after his wife had given birth, just to sit on the bench for England. He's like, well, screw you, I don't want to play under you anymore. So I kind of understand Ben White's decision behind it, because there's no backing from the England squad, like from behind the scenes kind of thing. Obviously Southgate says all the right things, but is there more to it? But if you're third or fourth choice, would you be happy sitting there warming the bench at England when you could be on holiday or back home with your family?
I think there's 2 points for me. Is Ben White does love football. Ben White just treats it like a job. So I like being in HR, but when I'm on my day off, I don't want to go and watch a TV programme about HR. So
Why not?
I think
that would be a smash hit.
Yeah. I think there was a programme recently on the BBC, and I did watch it actually, so maybe I'm lying. No, it was a drama. Like anyway, I won't go to it. So he's sort of like, that's why I don't watch football, because I don't want to watch something that I do all day. But he still loves football. Like, he doesn't say I dislike football. He loves it. He just doesn't want to watch it all the time. And I think I think it might have been Martin Erdegaard come out and said, Ben White is one of the biggest lovers of football there is. So that's not strictly true. Yeah, and I think he had a very similar incident where he wasn't spoken to or treated very well by the England coaching team, Gareth included, and yeah, he's just decided, well, you're at the World Cup, I'm not going to play. You want me to sit on the bench? I think was he getting married, or was his partner? I think he might have had a baby around that sort of point, that sort of time. So I think
so.
I think he was like, well, I'll go home then and spend it with my family rather than not play football. And they've taken that quite personally, which I understand why. The opportunity to play for England, I think, to put that shirt on, you should be the biggest thing you do.
You said it, bang. The opportunity to play for England.
Yeah,
he's very rarely going to have that opportunity to actually play.
Even if you're just in and around it, though, surely.
But if you were called up to England and you've been playing amazingly for Arsenal and you're well deserved to be there, but you've got Kyle Walker, Trent, and Trippier arguably in front of you, and you've just had Jack, what are you going to do? Go sit in Qatar for 5 weeks, or come back home, sit with Jack, sit with Selge, and enjoy yourself?
I mean, I understand what you're saying. It would be slightly different. You would have conversations, wouldn't you, about it beforehand. Say, look, this is the opportunity. I need to go and do this. This is once in a lifetime opportunity. But that's the same with having a kid as well. So yeah, it would be a difficult one. It would be really conflicted. So I could understand why somebody would choose to stay, and I could understand why somebody would choose to go. I personally would probably ask to stay. I'd probably be like, right, I really want to stay and play for England, try and play. But I understand why he did it, and I don't think there's any sort of slight on him at all. It's just a difference. So yeah, I can see it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I think people who are saying, he should be proud to play, blah, 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 he is. I just think he was treated poorly. He's like, well, I don't want to do it. I don't want to play for a club my country who's going to treat me like that, and I can understand it.
And Eddie's obviously got involved as well and phoned Southgate himself, said that he doesn't want to be in consideration to be picked. Southgate said, like, look, we'd love to be able to choose Ben White to play, blah, blah, blah. Would he not? I think at the moment with injuries, yes, he probably would, but I still don't think he gets in. I don't think he gets into arguably he can get into a second string team. That's second choice, but I'm happy that he's not being played. That means he gets rest for Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. But if you watch the game, against Brazil, Kyle Walker was injured. So, Ben White naturally would have slightly... Ben White's younger than Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker is starting to get a few little niggles. He's only 33, but he's still starting to get a few niggles. So Ben White naturally... I can't think, you could argue Trent, but is that his best position? And he was injured as well, so does Ben White naturally fit in to be the next... Is he the next best player? I mean, Reece James, again, he's very injury prone at the moment, so...
I think he is naturally that next person.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, for one reason or another, he just hasn't really kind of been considered for that.
Yeah. So Yeah, I mean that's my opinion for it, and Southgate could potentially have lost a really good right back, although if rumours are true, he's off to Manchester United in the summer.
Mate, I really hope he is.
Why?
So I think it'll be great for England because we could potentially get a more attacking-minded coach to utilise the sort of flair that we've got with a good, real future. But I also think he will not do a good job at Man United. So it'll be fantastic to see Man United just continue to struggle.
Gareth Southgate is the greatest England manager in 40, 50 years?
60 years. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he's been shit for us. I think he's done very well, but we're at the stage now when we've got a lot of good, well, very good players and world-class players there. And I think it's time to kind of change it a little bit, have something new, especially if we don't win this, or at least get to the finals again. I think that's a failure.
I think you could always argue if we had a different manager, would we have won the World Cup? Would we have beaten France? Would we have won the Euros? Would we have beaten Italy? And what will happen this time? You could always have those arguments, but we haven't. We've got Gareth, and we need to stick by him. And I think he's doing absolutely fantastic. And if he decides actually I don't want to stay on, and Man United come in for him, fair play to him. But automatically he becomes the worst England manager for 60 years because he now manages Manchester United, who we hate. I
don't knock him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slating him at all. I think he's done a very good job for England. But I think like the way our squad is now and the players that are coming through that are kind of peppering the squad and kind of featuring in and out a little bit and kind of on the fringe of everything, we could do really well.
I think as well for Southgate at United, I think that would be a really good fit. They need a massive culture change, and Gareth Southgate did that at the national England. That was the hardest job, and he's sort of come in and he's changed that and he's moulded that into what it is now, which is a lot better. So him going into Man United could be really good just for that side of things. Even if Man United continue to be quite poor on the pitch, they'll start to grow with that cultural work that he brings in. So it would be very interesting. But they would play a very different style of football. What did you think of the Brazil game?
That's Joe up just holding off quickly. That is a really good point about the culture side. He has gelled that team together. And I don't remember England fans being so passionate about England. Yeah, that's a good point.
In a good way as well.
In a good way. I didn't watch England Brazil game, mate. I was out. I didn't watch the highlights. I know Hendrick scored in like the 80th minute, I think it was, or something like that. By all accounts, from what I've read, we played well, but it's a friendly, so I don't really care.
Fair enough.
I know it sounds very blasé, but genuinely, I saw some people saying, we've beaten like 16% of the top, I think it was top 10 ranked teams or something that we played. I don't care. It's a friendly.
Fair enough. We did play well. We played all right. I thought Ben Chilwell was well off. Probably the weakest left back we've had for a while. But he did put in a good couple of blocks. But he's just his final ball. Bellingham was insane. He was just constantly being fouled. I think Paqueta had 6 fouls, got 1 yellow card. Like, he shouldn't have been on the pitch.
What joke.
Yeah. So.
What joke.
Yeah, it was a good game. England did play okay. Missed Harry Kane, missed Bukayo Saka, but then arguably Brazil didn't really have much of a defence left with no goalkeepers or defenders. So yeah, it was one of those interesting games. It was enjoyable. Me and Jack sat up and watched it. He loved it. He had his New England kit, New England shirt on. Not the controversial one, which intentionally avoided because fucking honestly, if people are going to get upset about something, they're going to get upset about something, can't they? So
I'll be honest, I don't really buy into this whole disrespectful thing of that or whatever. It's not the St George's flag, but you've got the England crest still there.
Well, I mean, it's not if somebody if Nike came out and said, yeah, we've changed the colour because we don't like you, then I could understand an upset. But that's not what's happened.
No.
They've not disrespected anything because it's not intentional. So I don't know, just go over it.
I think Nike, to be fair, didn't help themselves. They said, "Oh, we put a playful something or other." I can't remember the actual exact tweet that they put out, but it was like a playful change or whatever. And I'm like, if you just didn't even say that and just put, "Yeah, we've just put a different thing on the back," nobody would ever question it. It's just a design, then, isn't it?
It was to commemorate an old English team, and
that's it. That's it. Yeah.
yeah, was it the Euros or something like that? I think it was the Euros '90. I can't remember when it was, but anyway, it was in the '90s. So ridiculous. But this is what it is. This is where that toxic culture comes into things. And Gareth Southgate handled it really well. His pre-match interview.
Rugby.
No. It's always a red rose. That's really English.
Rose and rose, mate.
Yeah, like the Lions, really English. Yeah, no, it should be English.
Lions have always been England.
Yeah, because St George was famously English as well, wasn't he? For his cross.
Yeah. Ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
We're gonna get cancelled after this one.
Probably. But luckily, this will go out after the England-Belgium game, so we can't slate England even more on that one.
Oh, true, yeah. Well, if it works out, well done, De Bruyne. If it doesn't, well done, Ollie.
Hope De Bruyne gets injured. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be good.
Only just for the rest of the season. That's fine.
Yeah, well, definitely missing Sunday's game. It would be good if Kyle Walker's out, De Bruyne's out, and then Erling Haaland trips up the stairs or something. That'd be great. Did you just before we go? Did you see the Belgium shooting practice?
No.
Oh, I think it was a weak foot shooting practice that they had. They missed every single shot by miles. It was like watching me.
No.
Yeah. So let's keep them on their weak foot. We know they ain't going to hit the target.
Yeah, don't say that, because De Bruyne will be like left foot, absolute screamer in the top corner.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting
short
to see.
episode this week. Thank you, mate.
But yeah, thanks, mate. It was nice to see you for the second time in 3 days.
Yeah, man. And happy Easter to everyone listening, and we'll be back next week.
Happy Easter. Take care, mate. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.